Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you may change the way you look at every relationship, every connection, every person who walks into your life. Not every person is sent to you by God. Some people are sent by the enemy. Some people carry light, but others carry shadows. Some people are placed in your path to lift you higher, but others are positioned to pull you down into darkness. And if you are not awake, if you are not watchful, you may mistake poison for medicine. You may call danger your friend, and you may embrace destruction as if it were love. There are forces moving around you at all times, forces of good and forces of evil. And while the devil cannot touch your soul without your permission, he can disguise his servants as friends, lovers, mentors, or supporters. He can send someone to whisper lies dressed as advice, to offer comfort that hides corruption, to give you a hand that slowly chains you down. That is why discernment is not optional. It is survival. Today, I will tell you 6 signs. 6 signs that someone has not been sent by God, but by the devil himself. And you must engrave these truths deep into your mind, because they may save you from heartbreak, betrayal, or even destruction. The first sign is this: their presence drains your spirit. When God sends someone, even in correction, they strengthen you. Their words may challenge you, but they inspire growth. They leave you more awake, more alive, more courageous. But when the devil sends someone, you feel it in your bones. Your energy collapses. Your peace evaporates. Your clarity turns into confusion. You feel like you are walking in circles, exhausted, yet going nowhere. You may not see it at first, but pay attention to how you feel after being with them. Are you uplifted or are you emptied? Energy never lies. Spirits reveal themselves through the atmosphere they create. The second sign: they lead you away from discipline. Listen to me closely. Your habits determine your destiny. God's path is a narrow one, filled with discipline, focus, and purpose. But when the devil sends someone, they will not always attack you with obvious sin. No, they will laugh at your focus, mock your boundaries, and tempt you to loosen your grip on your principles. They will say, "Just once won't hurt." They will convince you that your path is too strict, too heavy, too unnecessary. Slowly, you begin to compromise. And remember, this compromise is the breeding ground of destruction. The devil doesn't need you to fall in one day. He only needs you to drift 1 inch at a time until you are far from where God intended you to be. The third sign: they thrive on your weakness. A person sent by God will protect your weakness and help you turn it into strength. They will cover you, not expose you. They will build you, not exploit you. But when the devil sends someone, they will find your weakness and feed on it like a parasite. If you are insecure, they will manipulate you through fear. If you are lonely, they will play with your heart while never truly committing. If you are generous, they will take without giving. And the danger is that they don't appear as enemies at first. They appear as what you crave most. They study you. They learn you, and then they twist what you lack into a weapon against you. The fourth sign: their words sow division. Pay close attention here. The devil has always worked through division. He divided angels in heaven. He divided Adam and Eve from God. And he seeks to divide you from your peace, your purpose, your family, your faith. When God sends someone, they bring unity. They build bridges. They bring clarity. But when the devil sends someone, they bring suspicion, gossip, and drama. They whisper about others. They stir conflict. They plant seeds of doubt in your heart against people who love you. Watch carefully who makes you suspicious of everyone else. Watch who always carries rumors. That tongue is a weapon, and the hand guiding it is not God's. The fifth sign, they make you forget who you are. God always sends people to remind you of your identity, to sharpen your vision, to strengthen your calling. But when the devil sends someone, you begin to lose yourself. You shrink to fit their approval. You abandon your values to keep their attention. You silence your voice to avoid their anger. Suddenly, you are no longer walking as who you were created to be, but as a shadow molded by their control. That is not love, that is bondage. That is not friendship, that is imprisonment. Pay attention to who you are becoming when you are around them. Do you see more of your true self or less? And the sixth sign, they fight your faith. This is the greatest sign of all. They may not attack it directly, but they will always push you to rely less on God and more on them, or more on the world. They will distract you from prayer. They will mock your convictions. They will make you feel guilty for choosing faith over compromise. Sometimes they may even pretend to be spiritual, but the fruits of their actions prove otherwise. Because here is the truth: the devil does not fear your talent, your intelligence, or your money. He fears your faith. And anyone who weakens your faith, anyone who draws you away from your source, has been sent as an agent of your downfall. Now listen. Recognizing these six signs is not about fear, it is about freedom. Because once you see clearly, you cannot be deceived. Once you discern, you cannot be controlled. Once you understand, you cannot be destroyed. The devil thrives in darkness, but the moment you shine the light of truth, his disguises fall apart. Everywhere you go, you must understand life is not just flesh and blood, it is spirit. Behind every smile, there is a spirit. Behind every handshake, there is an influence. Behind every opportunity, there is a force pushing you toward destiny or dragging you toward destruction. If you live blind to this, you will think every open door is a blessing, every friend is trustworthy, every voice deserves your attention. But no, discernment is your weapon, awareness is your shield. When someone is sent by the devil, they are rarely obvious. He is too cunning for that. He will not show up with horns and fire. He comes dressed in the very thing you've been praying for. He comes wrapped in beauty, in charm, in opportunity, in sympathy. That's why so many people fall into traps. They mistake temptation for blessing, bondage for loyalty, and manipulation for love. Let me go deeper into the first sign I shared: when their presence drains your spirit. Imagine this: you finish a conversation, and instead of feeling lighter, you feel heavy. Instead of clarity, you walk away confused. Instead of peace, you feel restless. That is not normal. That is not God. The devil's servants carry a presence that empties you because they are not connected to the source of life. They are spiritual thieves, and every moment with them, they are stealing your joy, your energy, your focus. And if you do not notice, you will normalize exhaustion, you will normalize chaos, you will normalize pain. But hear me, you were not created to live drained, you were created to live full of peace, full of fire, full of clarity. If someone's presence is constantly subtracting from your soul, it is a sign. Pay attention, for that draining is not just emotional. It is spiritual warfare in disguise. Now think about the second sign. They lead you away from discipline. This is one of the devil's greatest strategies. He doesn't come at you saying, abandon everything. He whispers, just loosen a little. You used to wake up early to pray. Suddenly, you sleep in because of them. You used to guard your words, but around them, you begin to gossip. You used to protect your body and mind, but they convince you to indulge just this once. But hear me clearly, once is enough to plant a seed of compromise, and a seed always grows into something bigger. Every time you lower your standard to please someone, you give the devil a foothold. And once he has a foothold, he will build a stronghold. That person may laugh at your focus, call you boring, call you too intense. But it is better to be called too intense on the narrow road than to be popular while walking toward destruction. Discipline is divine protection. Anyone who mocks it is not for you. Now reflect on the third sign. They thrive on your weakness. The devil studies you more than you study yourself. He knows your loneliness, your wounds, your insecurities, and he will send someone who fits perfectly into the cracks of your soul. If you crave validation, they will flatter you until you're hooked on their approval. If you crave love, they will romance you until you're enslaved by their absence. If you crave belonging, they will welcome you until you compromise to keep their acceptance. Be very careful who knows your weakness, because when someone sent by God sees your weakness, they protect it. But when someone sent by the devil sees it, they exploit it. They feed off of it. They use it to keep you dependent, small, controlled. This is not companionship, it is captivity. The fourth sign is critical. They sow division. Let me speak to your spirit right now. The devil hates unity. He knows there is power in agreement, strength in harmony, and blessings where there is peace. So what does he do? He sends people into your circle who whisper, who gossip, who pit you against each other. Suddenly, families are broken, friendships are shattered, communities are divided, not because of truth, but because of seeds of suspicion planted by someone who was never for you in the first place. Test every word that comes to you. Ask yourself, does this bring peace, or does this stir confusion? Does this build bridges or burn them? Anyone who constantly brings division is being used as an instrument of darkness. Protect your ears, for the devil's poison often enters through whispers. Then there is the fifth sign. They make you forget who you are. Listen closely, identity is power. If you forget who you are, you will settle for anything. You will accept less, tolerate abuse, believe lies, and shrink your greatness to fit into someone else's small vision. That is exactly what the devil wants, for you to abandon your divine identity. When someone is sent by God, they remind you of your worth. They push you toward growth. They sharpen you. But when the devil sends someone, you become a stranger to yourself. You no longer recognize the person in the mirror because you've been molded by manipulation. That is why you must ask, who am I when I am with this person? Am I stronger or weaker? Clearer or more confused? Free or enslaved? Your answer will reveal their source. And the sixth sign, they fight your faith. Some do it openly, others subtly. They distract you during the hours you used to pray. They make you feel guilty for choosing spiritual growth over pleasure. They laugh at your devotion, and before long, you begin to dim your light just to make them comfortable. But understand this, the devil is not after your money, your reputation, or even your body. He is after your faith, because faith is the bridge between you and your destiny. Destroy your faith, and everything else collapses. Whoever pulls you away from your faith, whoever mocks your convictions, whoever makes you feel distant from your Creator, they are not for you. They are an agent of destruction, no matter how charming, no matter how loving they appear. Now let me tell you something Deep the devil knows he cannot stop your blessing. So what does he do? He tries to attach the wrong people to you, hoping they will delay you, drain you, or derail you before the blessing manifests. But if you learn to discern, if you learn to watch the signs, no deception can bind you. The truth is this: you cannot afford to be naive. You cannot afford to let your heart be guided only by emotions. You must let wisdom guide you. Emotions can blind you, but wisdom opens your eyes. And once you see clearly, the power of the enemy breaks. You must understand, the devil does not always come to destroy you violently. Sometimes he comes to distract you quietly. Destruction often begins with distraction. He doesn't always strike with fire. He whispers with comfort. He knows that if he can place the wrong person in your path, you will fight battles you were never meant to fight, cry tears you were never meant to cry, and carry burdens you were never meant to carry. And before long, you will call exhaustion normal, you will call pain love, and you will call manipulation loyalty. But no, open your eyes. This is not normal. This is not love. This is not loyalty. This is the hand of darkness disguised as light. When someone is sent by the enemy, watch how they shift your priorities. You once cared about your vision, your discipline, your growth, but slowly everything revolves around them. They become the center, and you become a shadow. You begin to silence your dreams so theirs can shine. You give, but they never pour back. You sacrifice, but they never protect. You invest, but they never build. And while you shrink, they grow fat off of your energy, your time, your spirit. That is not partnership. That is parasitism. Let me speak to you about atmosphere. Atmosphere is the invisible language of the spirit. Every person carries it. Some people carry peace. You feel safe around them, encouraged, strengthened. Others carry storms. You feel tension, anxiety, and confusion the moment they arrive. Do not ignore atmosphere. If your spirit feels uneasy, it is not paranoia, it is discernment. Your spirit knows what your eyes cannot yet see. The body reads appearances, but the spirit reads truth. Trust it. And hear this: isolation is another tactic. When the devil sends someone, often they will try to isolate you from your real support system. They make you feel like only they understand you. They push you away from people who truly love you, convincing you that those people are against you. Suddenly, you are trapped in their world, depending on them alone, cut off from the voices that could have saved you. Division breeds isolation, and isolation breeds control. That is why you must guard your connections carefully. Do not mistake obsession for love. Do not mistake control for care. When someone constantly questions your every move, constantly makes you feel guilty for being yourself, constantly twists your truth into lies, that is not sent from heaven. That is the devil chaining you in emotional prison. And chains are still chains, even if they are wrapped in the illusion of affection. I need you to recognize another subtle sign. When someone resents your growth, a person sent by God celebrates when you rise, supports when you expand, and strengthens you when you advance. But a person sent by the devil feels threatened when you succeed. They mock your progress, minimize your achievements, and secretly rejoice when you stumble. Why? Because they were never for your growth. They were for your downfall. Pay attention to who claps when you win. Pay attention to who falls silent when you shine. Hidden jealousy is a seed of sabotage. And there is more. The devil uses imitation. He will send someone who looks like everything you prayed for, but lacks the fruit of it. They may look like a friend, but betray you. They may look like love, but wound you. They may look like an answer, but bring more questions. That is why appearances are never enough. The enemy knows how to dress lies in beautiful clothing. Do not ask only, what do they look like? Ask, what fruit do they bear? A tree is always known by its fruit, no matter how lovely its leaves appear. You must understand, someone sent by the devil doesn't just come for you. They come for your assignment. They come for your future. They come for your destiny. If the enemy can make you doubt yourself, delay your vision, or abandon your calling, then he has already won. That's why the wrong relationship is more dangerous than the wrong job, the wrong city, or the wrong opportunity. Because the wrong person doesn't just waste your time, they can waste your life. And yet, you are not defenseless. The same way the devil sends people, God sends people too. God sends encouragers, builders, protectors, truth, tellers, and vision sharpeners. The key is discernment. When you begin to pray for discernment, the masks will fall. The charming words will no longer hypnotize you. The false love will no longer trap you, and you will see with clarity who was sent to heal you and who was sent to harm you. Remember, light exposes darkness. The devil's power is in deception. His greatest weapon is disguise. But once you shine light, deception dies. Once you name the signs, the disguise loses power. That is why today is so important. You are not just listening to words, you are receiving keys. Keys that unlock the chains of manipulation. Keys that protect your destiny. Keys that sharpen your vision. And I must tell you this, do not be afraid to walk away. The devil thrives on your fear of loss. He convinces you that if you let go, you will be alone. But what you don't realize is that letting go of the wrong person is what makes space for the right one. You cannot embrace destiny while holding on to destruction. You cannot receive what God has for you while clutching what the devil sent to you. Sometimes your deliverance is not in fighting harder, it is in releasing faster. You have to decide today, your soul is worth protecting, your faith is worth guarding, your destiny is worth fighting for. And if that means saying goodbye to a counterfeit, then let it be. Because no counterfeit is worth your crown. Let me take you deeper, because this battle is not small. It is not about a friendship here, a relationship there. It is about your soul. It is about your destiny. The devil is strategic. He does not waste resources. When he sends someone into your life, it is not random. It is targeted. He studies your desires, your weaknesses, your habits. He knows where you are vulnerable, and he sends someone designed to exploit it. That is why you must never underestimate the importance of discernment. Think about it. The serpent in the garden did not come to Adam and Eve with violence. He came with conversation. He came with words that sounded intelligent, reasonable, almost caring. That is how the devil works. Subtlety, deception, disguise. And the same serpent who whispered in the garden still whispers today through people who are sent to twist your focus, to distort your faith, to delay your assignment. Look at your circle. Not everyone around you is for you. Some smile with you, but plot against you. Some encourage you in public, but secretly envy you in private. Some clap for your wins, but only because they're waiting for your downfall. You cannot afford to be naive. Wolves do not wear their teeth openly. They wear sheep's clothing. And the devil's servants do not come with warning labels. They come with charm, with beauty, with sympathy. But listen to me, what is wrapped in silk may still be poison. Pay attention to patterns. Words can lie, but patterns reveal truth. A person can apologize for hurting you once, but If they hurt you again and again in the same way, it is not weakness, it is their assignment. A person can say they love you, but if their actions consistently strip you of peace, strip you of faith, strip you of joy, then their love is only a mask. Stop excusing patterns with excuses. Stop calling abuse, struggle, stop calling manipulation, confusion, stop calling oppression, loyalty. Call it what it is, an attack from the enemy. Now let me show you another layer. When the devil sends someone, they often come at your turning point. Notice how temptations are strongest when you are closest to breakthrough. Notice how distractions appear right before promotion. Why? Because the enemy knows if he cannot stop God from blessing you, he will try to corrupt you before the blessing arrives. He will try to drain you, distract you, or break you, so that when the door opens, you are too tired, too bitter, or too entangled to walk through it. That is why you must be extra vigilant when you sense a new season approaching. Blessings and attacks often arrive at the same time. Do not be surprised when those sent by the devil appear sweet in the beginning. They will present themselves as exactly what you prayed for: supportive, understanding, gentle, even spiritual. But over time, their true nature leaks out. At first, it's small, a dismissive word, a manipulative guilt trip, a subtle lie. Then it grows, a pattern of control, a cycle of disrespect, a constant erosion of your joy. And if you excuse the small, you will be trapped in the big. That is how the enemy works. He introduces poison drop by drop until you are too weak to fight. You must train your spirit to test people by fruit, not by words. A tree may boast of its shade, its leaves, its beauty, but you cannot eat leaves. Look at the fruit. Is there consistency? Is there peace? Is there growth? Or is there constant drama, constant confusion, constant manipulation? A tree is always known by its fruit. And no matter how convincing someone may appear, the fruit will tell you whether they are sent by God or by the devil. I must also warn you, when you recognize someone sent by the devil and you begin to pull away, they will not let go easily. Why? Because you are their assignment. They will beg, they will flatter, they will guilt you, they will promise to change. But understand this, change is not in words, change is in fruit. The devil is persistent. He does not release his agents without a fight. But you must stand strong. You must value your soul more than their comfort. You must value your destiny more than their presence. And hear this truth. Sometimes the person sent by the devil is not loud, but silent. Not active, but passive. They don't have to attack you. They just distract you. They don't have to harm you. They just keep you stagnant. Their role is not to destroy you directly, but to waste your time. And wasted time is wasted destiny. 10 years in the wrong relationship, 5 years in the wrong friendship, 3 years in the wrong partnership. That is how the enemy wins without you ever realizing. Be careful of those who waste your time, because time is life. Let me tell you something many don't want to hear. The greatest attacks often come dressed as love. That is why heartbreak can feel worse than betrayal. Because when the devil sends someone, he doesn't always use your enemies. He uses those closest to your heart. And the pain is deeper because you trusted them. But even in this, there is wisdom. Pain opens your eyes to truth. Pain reveals what peace was hiding. Pain is the alarm that wakes you up from deception. Never waste your pain. Let it sharpen your discernment. Now lift your eyes and understand you are not powerless. You are not defenseless. You have been given discernment, intuition, a spirit that knows beyond appearances. When you pray for clarity, when you guard your peace, when you choose fruit over words, the devil's disguises fall apart. His plans crumble, his agents scatter, and you walk in freedom, in strength, in destiny. And let me remind you of something powerful. Silence is a weapon. Not everyone sent by the devil will attack you with shouting, anger, or open hostility. Some will use silence. Silence when you need support. Silence when you share your vision. Silence when you cry out for encouragement. Do you know why? Because their mission is not to feed your faith, but to starve it. Their silence is not neutral. It is designed to weaken you. A person sent by God will speak life into your dry bones. A person sent by the devil will let you wither and sometimes even enjoy your fading. You must guard against those who cannot celebrate your progress. If you tell someone your dream and their response is cold, dismissive, or jealous, understand this: their spirit is not aligned with your destiny. People sent by the devil will never clap genuinely for you. They will smile, but the smile does not reach their eyes. They will say, "Congratulations," but behind it is resentment. Do not ignore these cues. Hidden envy is just as dangerous as open hate. Another thing you must know: people sent by the enemy often create dependency. They will make you feel like you cannot function without them. They will position themselves as the answer to your loneliness, your struggles, your pain. And slowly, they train you to rely on them instead of relying on God. But remember this truth: anything that replaces your dependence on God is an idol, and idols always lead to bondage. If you cannot breathe without someone, if you cannot find peace unless they are present, if you cannot feel whole without their approval, you are not in love, you are in chains. Let me speak directly to your heart now. When the devil sends someone, they will always cost you your peace. Always. You may feel excitement, you may feel passion, you may feel obsession, but you will not feel peace. And peace is the signature of God. If peace is absent, God is not in it. The devil can imitate many things, but he cannot imitate true peace. So test everything by peace. Test every friendship, every relationship, every partnership. Ask yourself, do I feel peace here, or do I feel turmoil? If turmoil dominates, then you already have your answer. I want you to also see how those sent by the devil often twist truth into lies. They gaslight, they confuse, they distort. You will share your pain, and they will say, "You're imagining it." You will set boundaries, and they will call you selfish. You will try to walk in purpose, and they will call you arrogant. Why? Because if they can confuse you about reality, they can control you. This is not ordinary manipulation. It is demonic strategy. When your mind is clouded, your spirit becomes weakened. And once your spirit is weakened, you are easier to control. This is why you must anchor yourself in truth. Truth is not emotional, it is unshakable. Truth does not bend to manipulation. When you know who you are, no lie can define you. When you know your purpose, no distraction can derail you. When you know God's voice, no whisper from the devil can mislead you. The greatest defense against deception is unshakable truth. Listen carefully, the devil is not afraid of people who are talented, wealthy, or intelligent. He is afraid of people who are discerning, because discernment exposes him. Discernment destroys his disguise. Discernment breaks his power. And that is why your greatest prayer should not be for more opportunities, more connections, or even more blessings. Your greatest prayer should be for more discernment, because one wrong connection can destroy 10 years of progress. One wrong relationship can break your spirit for decades. But discernment will protect you from every trap, every counterfeit, every agent of destruction. And hear me well, you do not need to fight every battle. Sometimes the greatest victory is in walking away. The devil thrives on engagement. He wants you to argue, to defend yourself, to prove your worth to someone who was never for you. But wisdom says, don't fight shadows, don't wrestle with counterfeits, don't waste your strength trying to convince darkness to become light. Just walk away. Some battles are won not with fists, but with feet, by walking out of the enemy's trap and into the freedom God has prepared for you. Now, let me leave you with this reflection. Your life is too precious, your destiny too important, your time too valuable to waste on people sent by the devil. Every moment with them is a moment stolen from your purpose. Every tear cried for them is a tear that could have watered your vision. Every day lost in their confusion is a day you could have spent building your destiny. So rise, open your eyes, guard your spirit, protect your peace, and remember, not everyone who enters your life is sent by God. Some are sent to build you, but some are sent to break you. And once you know the difference, once you recognize the signs, you will never again be deceived by disguise. You will see clearly, you will choose wisely, and you will walk boldly in the destiny that belongs to you.